All right, guys, in this video, I am going to take on the sting of the fireworm so I can officially rate it on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Now, the sting from this venomous worm is horrible. We're talking searing pain, massive swelling, and even long-term skin damage. So for me, this is gonna be a really bad day. But before I can go through this test, I first have to catch one. And the only way to do that is to get out in the water. We're diving today just off a public beach near Miami, Florida. And if you can believe it, the waters just off these beaches are swarming with fireworms. Fireworms can grow up to a foot in length and are covered in thousands of venom-laced bristles, which has earned them the reputation of being one of the worst stings in the entire ocean. And unfortunately for me, I'm going to experience this firsthand. That is, if I'm able to find one. I'm seeing something in the rocks just ahead. Oh, check that out. Our first spot of the day. That is a moray eel. Moray eels are incredibly territorial and can be aggressive toward divers. So if I want to keep all my fingers, I better also keep my distance. Now these reefs are a promising environment, but still no fireworm. There is a ton of life down here, however, so I have a feeling it's just a matter of time. I think we need to dive deeper. All right, yes, this is looking perfect. What we're looking at here in front of us is a muck bottom environment, which the fireworms love. And you see that orange sponge? That's a fantastic sign. I've seen fireworms covering these sponges many dives before. Okay, I'm seeing something wormy just up ahead. Oh yeah, there it is, the first fireworm of the day, and a decent sized one too. Whoa, did you see that? The fireworm is flaring out its spines in self-defense, which is gonna make them even more tricky to catch. Even with these gloves on, this is a very dangerous operation that should never be attempted. Please never do this. Taking a sting from a fireworm underwater could easily put you in a life-threatening situation. We have a bit more time left in our tank. Let's see if we can find a few more. Wow, almost immediately we've got another one. Once you find the fireworms, they are nearly everywhere you look. Let's see just how many we can get. Now, for anyone wondering, rest assured, we will be returning all of these fireworms right back where I found them at the end of this video. Wow, that one is an absolute monster. I'm not even sure it's going to fit in this container. Let's try. All right, well, I think we found today's co-star. It's time to take our worms to the surface and for me to face the flame of the fireworm. Since it's important that I return the worms back to the water as quickly as possible, there was no time to waste. So I ditched my scuba gear and got right to setting up for the sting test. The sting table is set. I'm gonna get out a few things that we're gonna be using for today's experiment with the fireworm. I've got a Petri dish, we're gonna place them in, some clear Gorilla Tape. You might be asking, Mark, what are you gonna do with that? You'll see in just a few minutes. I've got some white vinegar. Gonna need that for the afterburn. And then of course, this is for me. Just a little hydration out here on the beach. I never leave home without my Summit Adventure Fuel. Now I'm gonna keep the rest of the worms covered. We don't need all the worms we found. Of course, we found a lot of worms. There were hundreds of fireworms at this site. The last one that we found, I even had a hard time fitting it inside the jar that I took with me. So I think that's the one we're gonna use for the experiment because I am curious, does size matter when it comes to the sting of a fireworm? I think today we'll find out. Let's get some seawater in our Petri dish. Nice, clean, and cold. Now it's time to get out the fireworm. Whoa. Oh yeah. All right, here's second worm going in. Get some of these spines out of there. Check that out. So as you can see, these worms are absolutely covered in thousands of these very small but very sharp venomous spines. Now these spines are constantly growing. So you'll see there's some of them floating around and it really does look like fiberglass. When you look at it under a microscope, you could see just how sharp the points of the spines really are. So really just even a subtle brush into one of these creatures is gonna land you in a world of pain, right where I'm about to be here in just a few more minutes. But you can also see that red coloration is where they get their name, the fireworm, because they look like they're on fire, and they certainly feel like it when they touch your skin. Now, a lot of people do come into contact with these worms, namely scuba divers and snorkelers, but you do need to be careful if you're out here swimming. If you're walking along and you feel rocks below your feet, there's a good chance that could be the home of a fireworm. If you step on one of these, it's gonna light you up. Wow, and there we go. Come in tight, let's see that right there. That, to me, is the most impressive thing about the fireworm, besides what the venom can do, is this amazing flaring defense. They can just splay and spread out all of those spines so they can encase their entire body. All of that middle bit there, it's no different than your average worm. In fact, when I squeeze it with these tweezers, they're super soft, they're squishy. And if they weren't covered in these amazingly painful spikes, they would be easy pickings for anything that lives out there in the ocean. So now you've heard me mention more than a few times that these worms are venomous. So while yes, those spines will jam into your flesh like a cactus, they release a toxin. There's a mucus that these worms are coating those spines in, much like a lionfish or a stonefish. And when that toxin gets into the skin, it's gonna cause instant searing pain. And that pain will continue to cycle through as long as those spines are lodged in my skin. And then after that, I'm gonna inevitably deal with tremendous swelling and probably some scarring. This is one of the stings that it's gonna leave lasting damage. Luckily for me, I get stung a lot in this area for the bite sting index, so it's just gonna be one of many scars. It's time to take a sting from this very bizarre marine creature so I can officially rate it on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. And this is one of the animals that I have been really curious to rate since we invented the Bite Sting Index for Brave Wilderness, where we rate the sting or bite of an animal in 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. And for this worm, the aftermath is what you're definitely going to want to stick around for, because not only will you see just how bad the burn from a fireworm can be, but I'm gonna show you what to do if you are ever stung by one of these venomous creatures. I know how bad this is gonna be. Time to find out. What does the burn of the fireworm do to human flesh? On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold on, I didn't give me good enough. Maybe one more time. Here we go. Puff up, puff up. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yeah, that burns. Ah! No! Oh, it's so. Ah! Ooh! Oh, do you see all those spines? Oh my gosh! Ah! Ah! Oh, you can already see it's turning red. Oh, I got stung really bad. That's so many spines. Hundreds. I got stung by hundreds. Ah! Oh, it's so bad. Ah! Ah! Okay. Ah! Ah! Oh gosh.
Mark, you okay?
Oh, it's bad, dude. It's really bad. On. Ah. Ah. Oh. Ah. 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 Oh my gosh, it's so much worse the first time. I've been stung by these before, but never one that big. I have so many spines in my arm right now. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is gonna be my worst sting ever. This is gonna be my worst sting. Ah! Ah! I gotta let it dry. Because once it dries, I can use this tape to remove the spines. Anything that's like super adhesive. If you don't have duct tape,
Find something sticky. Just like get that stuff out of there. You need to get those spines out of your skin because right now I can just feel the venom just like lava flowing over top of itself. It's just as bad as a bullet ant. It's just as bad as a bullet ant. It could be worse. Don't blow on it. Makes it worse. Come on. Dry. All right, I'm gonna walk it off. Hang on, guys. I'm just gonna walk around for a second. Okay, it's dry. All right, I'm taking all I can take. I gotta get these out. All right, piece of tape like that. Any tape will do, but I got this so you can see just how many spines I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna try to do this in one swoop. Here we go. You wanna cover the entire area. Oh, wow. I didn't get a moment to go again, but look at that. Look at how many spines are in there. Come on. Ow! Ah. Okay, holy mackerel. Look at those welts coming in. You see that? Oh my gosh, and they don't even look that bad compared to how it feels. Instantly better as soon as you remove the spines. It really makes a big difference. The next thing you want to do, white vinegar. It's gonna help neutralize the burns. Oh yeah. Whatever toxin is left on top of my skin, this vinegar is going to neutralize it. Heavy duty tape, white vinegar. If you don't have it with you, get it as fast as you can because the faster you can get those spines out of your skin, the sooner you're gonna be on the road to recovery. But I can tell you the road to recovery for this sting is long. And you can see how much the welts are rising. Tomorrow, this is gonna be nasty. Now comes the hard part, the healing process, the aftermath. And the pain score, gonna be high. Intimidation, I'm gonna have to think about that. Aftermath, I'm gonna have a long time to think about that because the aftermath of this worm is gonna last for weeks. But you don't have to wait weeks. Let's get into it right now and officially rate the fireworm on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index.
On intimidation, the fireworm looks intense. The bright red skin combined with thousands of spines remind me of a venomous snake. Plus, having taken a sting before, I know just how easily those spines can get stuck in your skin. And when you see a big one underwater, they are majorly intimidating. So for that, I give it a 7.8 out of 10. For pain, once those spines dug in and started to dose me with venom, the burn was intense. The feeling was similar to being burned and electrocuted over and over again. And unlike my first sting, I got completely nailed this time with at least 5 times the amount of bristles. Needless to say, it hurt badly, and for that, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. The aftermath of the fireworm is where it scores some serious points. Its burn just kept going and going, day after day and week after week, and the rash would come back with a vengeance, leaving behind these intense itching, pustules, and swelling. Anytime I would get active or start to sweat, the pain would come rushing back, and to this day, there is still some scarring left behind from the burn of this fireworm. So for this, I give the aftermath score a whopping 9.6 out of 10. All combined, the fireworm ranks at a 9 on the Brave Wilderness BSI, which is a major score for a majorly painful creature. As we head into summer, it's the perfect time for you to share your own adventure stories. And with today's sponsor, Opus Clip, it's easier than ever. With their new feature, Clip Anything, it makes content creation smarter, faster, and way more manageable. For teams like ours that are always out in the field capturing wild encounters, tools like Clip Anything can be a real game changer. Because time spent editing is time away from the adventure, so having AI that speeds up the process makes a huge difference. And here's exactly how tools like Clip Anything helps creators move faster. There's AI Reframe. It instantly resizes your footage for any platform. AI Voiceover brings your story to life without even needing a microphone. And then there's AI B-roll, which finds visuals to match your content, saving you hours in post-production. Just drop in your footage and Clip Anything handles the rest. No more juggling 5 different tools or pulling all-nighters just to get a clip out. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to up your content game, Clip Anything helps you stay out on the adventure and not stuck in a timeline. So get started today by clicking the link in the description or visiting www.opus.pro/clipanything. All right, now it's time to get back to the dive. I'm about to enter the bite zone with the venomous bloodworm on 3. 1, 2, 3. What's going on, guys? I am back in the state of Maine to officially test the bite of the venomous bloodworm. In order to do this justice, we are going to try to find a monster worm. And to do that, I've enlisted the help of legendary bloodworm hunter, Wayne Fishko. Wayne, is this where we find the monster worms?
This is it.
All right, man, let's get digging.
Let's go.
Bloodworms live and hunt deep in the mudflats of Maine, where they can only be dug up during extreme low tides. We've enlisted Wayne's help because he's a professional bloodworm digger with over 30 years of experience. You see, out here, bloodworms are prized fishing bait and vital to the livelihood of many coastal Mainers. So if anyone knows where to find the truly giant bloodworms out here, it's Wayne. This one's not too bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Is it gonna get deeper?
It is.
It's hard out here, guys. This is work. How's Asa? Asa, you all right?
Yeah, these things are really sticking.
Walk on the balls of your feet, bud. You want to be able to twist your heel. When you take it out, it breaks the suction, and basically, you just twist. Yeah, just
Little
twist.
wiggle. Walk and wiggle, guys, like a worm. As you can see, it's very slow moving in the mud, so we're gonna have to find our bloodworms fast once we get out there. High tide is moving in quickly, and this whole area we're digging in will be 10 feet underwater in less than an hour.
All right, let's get at it.
All right, so this is it?
This is
going right in.
I'm getting at it.
Okay.
Cause right here. Check
You already
this out.
got one?
Check this out. Look.
Oh, wow, that's a big one.
Check that out, man. Look at that. Look at the head on that.
All right, let's put it in the bucket.
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. Now I gotta find one. We're trying to dig as many monster-sized bloodworms as we can while the tide is still low. And then we'll pick the largest one, the true monster bloodworm, for the bite test. Oh, bloodworm. Got my first one.
That's a beauty.
Look at that, got one. Haha,
That
first
is
bloodworm
a
of the day.
beauty.
Keep working. All right, here's a sandworm. Here's a really good sandworm, too. Amongst other things, these sandworms are food. It's what the bloodworms are eating out here in the mudflats. So you see the difference. The sandworm has much longer parapodia. Those are the little bristles, the swimming appendages on the side of the worm, than the bloodworm. And you can see that the difference in color is pretty substantial. Now, sandworms have a nasty bite as well, 2 fangs, but they're not venomous. Lots of different creatures and creepy crawlies out here on the mudflats. Since we've been digging, Wayne's found like 3 bloodworms. I found 1. I need to get to work. Oh, I got one. I got a huge one. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is the biggest bloodworm I've ever caught. Look at the size of that bloodworm, guys. Huge. Yes. So Wayne, you think the bigger the worm, the bigger the bite?
I think the bigger the worm, the bigger the bite.
All
No
right.
question.
All right, let's dig up a big one, guys. That's what we came for. Oh yeah.
Look at that right there.
Whoa, that's a monster. That is a huge bloodworm, Wayne. That's a contender. Let's put that in the bucket.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Right there. Now, these are venomous creatures. They do bite, and they bite without warning. Now, one of the ways people are often bit is when they're picking them up from the mud, because they will actually shoot their mouth part out, their proboscis, in order to dig. Watch this. Whoa, you see that? So not only does it use that projectile mouth, that proboscis, to grapple its prey and consume the other worms that live in this environment, it actually uses that proboscis to bore tunnels so it can bury itself down in the mud. See the hole it makes? Pretty darn cool. Oh, what is this? Look at that. Holy smokes. Well, this is a milky ribbon worm. This is a huge milky ribbon worm. Okay, so here, let's take a look at this real quick. Guys, this is a milky ribbon worm, and look how long this worm is. That's definitely over a foot. These worms can grow over 4 feet in length, believe it or not.
I got one right here.
Oh my gosh.
Check that out.
Wayne, can you bring that over here?
I sure can.
Wow. Okay, yours is a lot bigger than mine, Wayne. I'm gonna put my milky ribbon worm down. Let's clean this off. I wanna show you guys. Oh, look at that.
That's it.
Its proboscis came out. Look at that.
That is so cool. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Watch it on your hand. It's gonna crawl all over.
Oh, wow.
It is a different world out here on the mud flat. All right, let's put this milky ringworm back and keep looking for bloodworms. This is definitely big worm country. Tide's coming in. You see all that water, guys? We gotta keep digging. Oh, that was a big one. That's a huge one. Come on, come out. Ugh. Yes! That is a monster.
It sure is.
Wayne, this is easily the biggest bloodworm I have ever seen. And we have found our contender. And now it's time to set up the bite table and officially rank the bite of the venomous bloodworm. Let's do it. Here we are, back at the bite table. Let's take a closer look at these venomous predators. Wayne, you got our worms?
I sure do, right here.
Oh man, that's a full bucket. Look at all these worms. Oh my goodness. Let's take a few out and get a closer look. Wow, look at that. These are all jumbos. Now, these are the only marine worms on the planet that can deliver a venomous bite, but it is not the only venomous worm on the planet. In fact, I've already ranked another species of venomous worm, the bearded fireworm, on the bite sting index. Ah, yeah, the birds. Ah, and it rated as a 9. In fact, even to this day, I still have scars left over from the fireworm, so I'm curious, can the bloodworm's venomous bite stack up to that venomous sting from the fireworm? Well, today we're officially going to find out. Now let's talk about how it delivers the venom. It is a complex venom, much like snake venom, that they use to incapacitate or paralyze their prey. Once they latch in with those jaws, they inject the venom, stun their prey, so then they can easily eat it whole. And the proboscis, the mouth part, is actually on the inside of the worm, and when it shoots it out of its mouth, it's almost flipping its stomach inside out. And at the end of the proboscis, there are 4 hooked fangs. In addition to delivering venom, those 4 teeth are like grappling hooks, and that's exactly what I want to show you right now. If we can get one to fire off its proboscis, I will attempt to head it, and I will show you a very up-close shot of those 4 hooked fangs. Now, Wayne, I'm gonna give you all the credit for this because until I saw Wayne do this in one of his videos, I had no idea heading a bloodworm was even possible. How did you figure this out?
Just over time. I mean, you see them come out and it's kind of like you've only got that split second. They're so quick, you've got to get behind that base of the head, and to be able to really get a good shot of them, you've really got to be quick, because they are.
These bloodworms are capable of firing off a bite, but in order to do today's bite test, I'm gonna intentionally put those painful grappling hooks into my arm. So let's just watch here. As soon as I see a proboscis fire out, I'm gonna grab it. Oh, got it. Got one. That's a big one too, look at this. Now, if I just hold it, it's going to readjust and show us those fangs. I gotta be careful to not get bitten right now. This is an easy way to take a bite. I do not recommend anybody do this at home. If you ever find bloodworms, this is not the safest way to handle one. All right, there you go. See those jaws? Yeah. Look at that. That is the inside of the bloodworm's mouth, and you can see there are 4 grappling hook reversed fangs at each corner of the mouth. And not only are those fangs used to pierce the skin and inject venom, but they're grappling hooks. They actually use it to clinch onto their prey and suck it into their mouth and inside the gullet of their body. When it comes to bizarre creatures, it's hard to think of one more bizarre than the bloodworm. Now, I think it's time to pick out the bloodworm that's going to deliver the infamous bite for this video. And to do that, we are going to go for the biggest one possible. All right, I'm gonna grab all the giant bloodworms out of the bucket, and then Wayne will help me pick the biggest of the bunch for the bite. Oh man. Didn't come all the way to Maine to do a bite test with a little bloodworm. No, that one's not gonna cut it. Nope. Small. Small. That one's good. All right, I think we got some contenders here. Wayne, I'm gonna need your help on this one.
Okay.
Let's start eliminating. Like, do you see any in here that look undersized to you? This one looks a little small.
One's a little small.
All right, we'll put this one back.
Yeah. Okay, look at the girth on that one and this one. Look at that thing there.
Oh my gosh.
That thing there is huge.
That's a contender.
It sure is.
All right, put that one back.
I'm gonna say this, or this. Let's move these other ones out.
Okay, so these down to these 3.
Yep, down to those 3.
Okay.
Boy, I'll tell you, that one there looks like a nice worm.
Okay.
That really does.
All right. Wayne, this is the one.
That's the one.
This is the beast. These are not small worms either. They're all They're all big, but we're gonna go with the professional on this one. Wayne, I think you picked out a winner, man. Look at the size of this worm. Oh my goodness. I mean, guys, this worm is well over 1.5 feet in length when it's all extended out. But look at how thick it is. And you can really see why they call them bloodworms with this. Look at that. You can see all that dark, oozy blood inside the belly of the worm. And you can see it actually if I go like this. Slides up and down, giving them the name bloodworm. But look at that. Look at how huge it is. Oh boy, this is gonna hurt. All right, now we just need to sit here and wait for this bloodworm to shoot its proboscis out. I will head it and then intentionally let it grapple onto my forearm. And once it hooks in, it's not gonna wanna let go. I think getting it to bite is one thing, getting it off is another challenge. And of course, like always, we're gonna rate this bite test for the BSI, the Bite Sting Index, on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. And I can tell you right now, the aftermath of this bite is gonna be a doozy. All right, now the bite from these bloodworms are, oh, got it. Oh yeah, woo. Talk about a waiting game. All right, here we go, guys, this is it. Oh, this is gonna be gnarly. I'm Mark Benz, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the venomous bloodworm on 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at all those bite marks. Yeah. Must be like 12 bite marks. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's latched. Latched on. Oh my gosh, I can feel the venom. I can't get it off. All right, I'm gonna put the worm back. Oh my gosh. It feels like 4 bee stings at once. Each fang I could feel popping through the skin. Oh yeah. And that is gonna swell up, guys. Wait till you see this. See all the redness there? Starting to come through? And that's all my blood. That is not from the bloodworm, that's from me. That's from the fangs going into my skin. It definitely has some kind of anticoagulant in the blood that just with the slightest graze of those fangs, it makes you bleed like instantly. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Are you okay?
Oh, it's gonna be burning for a while. That is a serious bite from a serious marine predator, the bloodworms of Maine. And now it's time to officially rate this venomous marine worm on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Run it. Whew. On intimidation, these bloodworms have an ultra high creep factor. They're like an alien from another planet. And watching those hooked fangs move around, knowing they're designed to latch into flesh, sets my nerves on fire. And for that, I rank them an 8.5 out of 10. Now, pain is where the bloodworm truly earns its score on the BSI. Those hooked jaws bit me over and over again, allowing more and more super painful venom to enter my body. Each fang was painful on its own, so getting bitten by all 4 at once, wow, yeah, that hurt. And then the pain for the venom was red hot and caused immediate redness and swelling all around the bite zone. So for all this, I give the pain a 9 out of 10. Now for aftermath, the bite of the bloodworm swelled and itched terribly for over 72 hours after I was bitten. 5 days later, it had essentially healed with no sign that it ever happened in the first place. By comparison, the aftermath of the fireworm sting lasted for months and racked up one of the worst aftermath scores on the BSI to date. The bloodworm, however, still gets a respectable 8 out of 10 for aftermath. Altogether, the bloodworm ranks at an 8.5 out of 10 on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index, climbing high on the all-time rankings, but falling just short of the ferocious fireworm.
As we head into summer, it's the perfect time for you to share your own adventure stories. And with today's sponsor, Opus Clip, it's easier than ever. With their new feature, Clip Anything, it makes content creation smarter, faster, and way more manageable. For teams like ours that are always out in the field capturing wild encounters, tools like Clip Anything can be a real game changer. Because time spent editing is time away from the adventure, so having AI that speeds up the process makes a huge difference. And here's exactly how tools like Clip Anything helps creators move faster. There's AI Reframe. It instantly resizes your footage for any platform. AI Voiceover brings your story to life without even needing a microphone. And then there's AI B-roll, which finds visuals to match your content, saving you hours in post-production. Just drop in your footage and Clip Anything handles the rest. No more juggling 5 different tools or pulling all-nighters just to get a clip out. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to up your content game, Clip Anything helps you stay out on the adventure and not stuck in a timeline. So get started today by clicking the link in the description or visiting www.opus.pro/clipanything. All right, now it's time to get back to the dive. All right, guys, I just got done night diving in Indonesia, and I cannot believe what we just filmed tonight with the bobbit worm is mind-blowing. Total nightmare fuel, but super awesome at the same time. Check this out. You won't be sorry. We're starting our dive at dusk, and we'll be focused on the seabed in front of us. This is typically when the most interesting creatures are active. And right away, there's a lionfish. These fish are down here hunting right now, and those spines on its back are covered in a potent neurotoxin that can cause excruciating pain and even paralysis in anything it touches. These waters are absolutely filled with them, as well as their cousin, the scorpionfish. So anytime I make contact with the ocean floor, I'll be checking to make sure that I don't land on anything I'm not supposed to. Now, I've seen a lot of bizarre and nightmarish looking creatures before. I've been bitten by bloodworms, burned by a fireworm, and even stung by the infamous man-o-war. But nothing makes my skin crawl quite like the bobbit worm. These elusive predators have built up a serious reputation over the years and even inspired monsters in movies like the ones in Dune and Tremors, both featuring killer sandworms that live underground that burst through the desert sand with their powerful jaws to attack and kill their prey. Those worms are science fiction. The bobbit worm you are about to see feed in the night is very real. Now, at this point in the dive, I had no idea I was going to find any bobbit worms, but these are the events as they unfolded, leading to that very moment. What we have here is a school of catfish. They use a very interesting schooling technique where they actually cascade over each other like a waterfall. They do this to take turns so they can stop and feed, but there's always another catfish to replace the front line. Grouping together like this helps ward off predators and makes the school of catfish appear like a much larger fish. All right, time to move on. Oh wow, look at that. I have never seen one of these nudibranch before. This one is actually called a bubble shell. It gets its name because of that shell right there at the center of its body. Now, these shells are different to the ones on a typical snail. They are thin, fragile, and too small to fit the entire animal inside. But it is absolutely stunning in coloration. Look at those bright blue edges. It almost glows out here in the darkness. Very cool. On night dives like this, you really never know what you're going to find. It's a very alien-like environment, and when you're out here in the muck, it almost appears like the lunar surface. And here is another really bizarre and unique creature. This is a cuttlefish. Related to the octopus, these sea creatures are super intelligent. In fact, some scientists believe they're more intelligent than their 8-armed cousins. Let's carefully swim up for a closer look. What's really unique about these creatures at first sight is how they change their coloration almost instantaneously. Oh, look at this, it's moving into hunt. Oh, it almost got that fish. That fish was so lucky. Oh. The cuttlefish is turning right toward me. Look at that coloration change. Now, some scientists believe not only did they change their coloration as a camouflage technique, but they can actually communicate through the change in color and pattern in their skin. I wonder if it's trying to tell me something. Clearly it knows that I'm no longer a threat. It's hanging out. Let me just put my hand out right. Guys, this is too cool. This cuttlefish is so comfortable with us that it's letting me almost use my hand as a perch. Now, make no mistake, these cuttlefish are super fast and it could swim away in a split second if it wanted to. And it's likely just as curious about me as I am about it. Holy cow. I'm almost at a loss for words. All right, let's grab our dive rig and keep adventuring into the night. Wow. That's a pair of moray eels. This is one of the animals that divers need to be especially careful around because they are super territorial and they also have razor sharp teeth. If you stick your hand in the wrong place down here, you can take a pretty aggressive chomp from one of these large eels. And the biggest problem is once they bite, they don't let go. They can even spin into a death roll similar to a crocodile. We're gonna leave those two alone and keep moving forward. Now that is a porcupine fish, and a super colorful one at that. A lot of the porcupine fish that I'm used to seeing are more brown and gray in coloration. This one is more of a reddish maroon. And oh, I found something so cool. Guys, check this out. This is a bobtail squid. I've always wanted to see one of these. Now these bobtail squid really look like a little octopus because of their super long tentacles. They're almost the in-between between a cuttlefish and an octopus. But these bobtail squid are also super intelligent and extremely charismatic. It's trying to bury itself beneath the sand to hide away from our cameras. I see you. Look at it using its little arms to cover itself with sand and sediment to try to blend in. You can still see its little siphon is uncovered there. Wow. Whoa. Look out for those. Those are scorpion fish, and they are venomous. Related to the stonefish, these scorpion fish have venomous spines on the dorsal and pectoral fins. And if you accidentally brush into them, they can give you a really nasty sting. I know all too well just how it feels because I once took a sting from the scorpion fish
And I've tested
myself.
the sting of a man-o-war. Ah, man, that one nailed me.
What is that? That's a bobbit worm. Oh my gosh. We gotta get in for a closer look. Those mandibles, look at those jaws, they are huge. If that's not a sci-fi monster, I don't know what is. And look at its skin. It's iridescent. It almost has a rainbow shimmer to it. And you could see its serrated jaws open and ready to clasp onto any would-be victim that crosses its path. And do you see those little antennae right by the jaws? Those are sensory organs, sensing the chemicals and vibrations in the water so it can detect prey and launch out for an attack. And with a body length of up to 10 feet, there's a lot more to this worm than meets the eye. And using all that friction that it has from that long burrow, it possesses incredible strength and can take down large fish as prey in a split second. Let's see if we can get the bobbit worm to snap its jaws for the cameras. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Wow. Now not only are those jaws serrated, but the bristles along its body are actually venomous. And the bobbit worm uses them as a defense mechanism. So it's not just the jaws you have to worry about. Oh no! The little porcupine fish followed us over. It must be attracted to the dive lights. That porcupine fish is very lucky to have escaped the bobbit worm. But that was pretty interesting to see it use its defense mechanism to puff up like that and to be successful with it. Whew, that got my heart racing. Let's wait here for a second to see if this bobbit worm can find any other prey. Look who showed up. The scorpion fish is coming to take a look. I wonder if the scorpion fish thinks this bobbit worm could be food. It certainly is creeping in really slow. Let's hang here for a second to see what happens. I cannot believe what we just saw. I think we're gonna need to see that one more time, but this time we're gonna slow it down. You can really see how the bobbit worm inspired the movies Dune and Tremors. Look at the sand bubbling. I can only imagine what's happening down there below the surface. That might be the most disturbing thing I have ever seen on any dive I've ever been on. Wow. I am super excited. The creature that we're looking for tonight is probably one of the most bizarre animals that can be found in Australia, and we have featured some interesting things over the years on Brave Wilderness, but I can promise you, nothing compares to the turtle frog. We needed rain to find this frog, and the rains have come. You are not going to miss this. Finding a turtle frog is almost impossible because you have to be in the small remote desert they live in Western Australia while it's raining. And this only happens a few times a year. Yes! Yes! Next to no footage exists of this species. If we find one, this will be the very first high quality footage ever seen. Oh, stop the car, I see something on the road. First animal of the night, a really cool lizard. Oh my gosh, it's got a huge tick on him though. I'm gonna try to pull this off. Look at that, got a tick.
Oh my gosh.
You see that? That is a big tick. And that is a really cool lizard. Very good sign for our search tonight. We're not exactly looking for shinglebacks, but this one was crossing the road, so we wanted to move him out of the way. You're welcome. All right, let's let you go off the road so you can continue on your way, and we'll continue on ours. This rain has the animals on the move. Like all amphibians, turtle frogs need moisture to survive and to breed. That is why they come up to the surface after it rains. Without this rain, the frogs will remain buried beneath the ground and impossible to find. To make matters worse, turtle frogs only come to the surface at night. We're going to have to look and listen closely to even have a small chance at spotting one. All my life, I've been a frog nerd. And I've been able to track down iconic species like the red-eye tree frogs and poison dart frogs of Central America. And I've also gotten hands-on with all different kinds of toads, from giants, oh, wow, to the most colorful, got it, like this extremely rare harlequin toad. However, the turtle frog has always been my grail animal, and tonight is the first time in my career I'll have a shot at catching one. But if we're going to do that, I'll have to rely on all my years of experience and animal catching tricks to track one down. Perfect habitat for the turtle frog. See that right there? That's sand substrate. Turtle frog, it burrows down up to 3 feet below the surface, so it really needs this sand to be able to do that. Okay, let's keep looking. We're definitely on the trail now. It's really a miracle in itself that we got prime turtle frog conditions tonight. Like seriously, all week long, the forecast called for clear skies and no rain. But tonight, out of nowhere, the rain rolled in, and I have to say, it's making this adventure feel like destiny. Oh, guys, I got something. All right, so what you're looking at there is a spiny tail gecko, named for the spines on the tail, which are actually just modified scales, and they're soft, they're not sharp at all. Now these geckos have a pretty unique defense mechanism where they're able to actually secrete a chemical mixture from their tails. They like whip it at the predators trying to eat them, and it doesn't taste very good. The eyes of the gecko are probably some of the coolest eyes on the planet. They actually don't have eyelids, so they have to lick their eyeballs to keep them moist. Can you imagine that, licking your own eyeball? Sure glad we have eyelids. Love these geckos. Okay, we're gonna let this gecko go back in the bush and keep looking. Well, that's a good sign. We're continuing to see new creatures. Guys, I got one. Look at this frog. Holy cow, that is cool. Wow. We found our first amphibian of the night. It's not the frog we're after, but that is a great sign. That means that we're getting enough rain for the amphibians out here to come out of the soil. This is the western spotted frog, and just like turtle frogs, they only come out just after a rainstorm. This is not the frog we're after, but it's a good start. Let's let this one go and keep searching. Perfect conditions. We just gotta keep looking. Got the rain, we're in the right spot. I've already seen one species of frog. This is like the sweet spot. This is what we need. Got everything except the turtle frog itself. After hours of searching, we weren't seeing any signs of turtle frogs. Luckily, my experience has taught me sometimes the best way to find the frog you're looking for is with your ears. Did you guys hear that? Shh, shh, shh. I think I heard one. Yep. Did you guys hear that? On one more. Let's see if we can hear it one more time. If we hear it again, we'll try to find it. I think that's one, guys. Let's try to canvas this area in front of us here. Stop calling. We must be right next to him. Got him. Got a turtle frog. Holy mother. Oh my God. Look, there he is. There it is. I cannot believe we found the frog. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Hello. Come here, buddy. Oh my gosh. We have come so far to find this species. There is the turtle frog. Yeah, baby! Woo! What are the freaking odds? Guys. Oh my gosh! I cannot believe we got one. Oh. Hello. Have you ever seen anything like that in your life? This is one of the coolest creatures I have ever laid my eyes on. Let's just appreciate this super unique creature. What you're looking at is some of the first HD footage ever recorded of a turtle frog. I mean, this species is so rare, there's very little information to find about them. But here's what we do know about this bizarre little frog. Let's start with the name, turtle frog. Named for its appearance, the most unusual frog I have ever seen, but look at its head. That dome-shaped head with the black beady little eyes, and then the circular body looks like a turtle without a shell. This is one of the most unique looking frogs you will ever see. It looks like something out of Star Wars, Jabba the Hutt's relative. Some people say it looks like a little wad of chewing gum, and it certainly looked like that when we first saw it. I have wanted to film, I have wanted to find one of these frogs for my entire career. This is a big, big moment for me. If you can't sense my excitement after this, this is about as big as it gets for a frog nerd like me. Hi, buddy. Look at that pudge. Are you kidding me? Has to be one of the most unique looking frogs, but probably the cutest frogs as well. Super pudgy, super soft. Feels like a water balloon almost, and when it's walking across my hand, you can really tell how much liquid is in the frog. It's like a deflated water balloon,
but it is a very delicate frog, but it's somewhat stout. It's got a lot of power in those legs. I can feel it when it's crawling across my hand. It uses its stocky arms and legs to burrow into the soil. It really is incredible how something so small and soft can dig over 3 feet underground. And actually here, let me get out. I'm gonna take my pack off and get out a little bit of water because I don't wanna dry out the frog. One of the things you always wanna make sure you do when handling any amphibian is make sure you don't dry them out, and this water will help. Oh, hey, came to life there. Hey buddy, it's all right. Oh my goodness. Endemic to Western Australia. It can only be found here, but that's not where the oddities end. In fact, the oddities begin with this species when it's born. It's one of the few species of frogs on the planet that does not have a tadpole stage. This frog begins its life with a full set of hands and legs. What's also unique about this species is that they have one of the largest eggs of all frogs in Australia. In fact, 5 centimeters is as big as they grow, and this frog is approaching maximum length. Now, there's a certain period of year where at the tail end of it that it's breeding and it will actually call. That's how we were able to find this frog. And it was definitely a team effort. We've got Max with us here from Australia Wildlife Encounters. Max and I were slowly honing in on this little frog, and then I crouched down and there it was, just like you saw it right there underneath the bush, looking right back at us with those beady little eyes. And it was so unlikely for us to find this frog, guys. The rains were not supposed to come, and sure enough, they appear today, almost like out of thin air. A front came in, provided enough moisture for us to have a chance to put this frog in front of the cameras. And I am so excited you guys get to see it. Now, we think this is a male because of the way it was calling. And when they're mating, they have an extended honeymoon. Once a turtle frog locates its mate, they will both burrow together for months before actually breeding and depositing their eggs. This is a very unique species, guys. There's not a ton of information and very few studies of this frog. So when it comes to filming animal oddities, it doesn't really get any better than this. And I am just over the moon right now that we were able to come out here, our first time in Western Australia, our first time in turtle frog territory, against the odds, and sure enough, we were able to find one. Oh man, I am so excited we got to show you guys the turtle frog. What a cool frog this is! Guys, are you kidding me? Tell me in the comments section if you've seen a cooler frog than the turtle frog. I challenge anyone out there to name a more unique species of amphibian, because I do not know of one. All right, let's go put this frog back and head in for the night. Man, that was awesome. For decades, man's closest relatives have been taken from their homelands in Central Africa to face unknown dangers with debilitating outcomes. They've been poked, prodded, tested on, and even sent to space. But in 2015, all that changed when the wild and captive chimps in America were listed as endangered under the Endangered Species Act. The chimp, now without a purpose to the organizations that use them for testing, were faced with life in a box. Until some brave heroes got together to give them another chance to breathe fresh air and see the green leaves of the forest once again. This is Project Chimps, and they're fighting to create a forever home for these forgotten primates. Founded in 2015 by a group of chimpanzee advocates, including Billy Joe Armstrong and Rachel Ray, they created a sanctuary that sits on 230 acres of forested land in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Georgia. Today I've been invited to Project Chimps for one of the biggest moments in the nonprofit's history. And I'm joined by India, one of the caregivers here. She will show us how much work goes into creating a better life for these chimpanzees and how they are expanding to improve their lives even more. But before we can learn about this landmark moment, we need to meet the chimps and learn what has already been done to date. So we mask up and prepare for our first chimp encounter. Oh, wow. Hey guys. We got a bunch of chimps right here in front of us.
This is Paul down here, closest to us. And then that's Lancelot with a mouthful of chimp chow. They get chimp chow twice a day. It's weighed out, and it's technically a nutritionally complete diet. But then we supplement produce on top of that.
And is this where the chimpanzees sleep at night?
Yeah, so they all come in here. This group, we actually have a good amount. Hi, Thomas.
Thomas.
So this group is a group of homebodies. They like to be in here. But at the end of the day, we call them in from the habitat, give them their dinner, any medications they need.
Next course number 2 will be fruits, and you can see some people are already getting excited.
We find ourselves calling them people a lot of the time too. They're not human, but they have personhood in the way that we experience personhood, the individual personalities.
So easy to recognize their mannerisms. So I've got a big case of sweet potatoes, plums, and more plums. This is clearly a fan favorite. Let's go feed them. The more I interacted with the chimps, the more it became clear that each and every one had an individual personality. And within 15 minutes of feeding, I could already start to identify them. So how many chimpanzees live in this area?
In this group, we have 19. So there are 10 girls and 9 boys. Prince is the alpha of this group. He's sitting in that door, sucking on a plum pit.
Okay, so this is this dessert?
It basically, yes. This is pumpkin, applesauce, and oats, and some spices.
Well, could you use a hand?
I would love a hand. I just take about a finger amount.
A glob?
A glob.
It actually smells pretty good.
It does.
Getting it everywhere. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay.
Amazing technique. So this is something called fishing tubes that we do for them. And it replicates a behavior that they would do in the wild, which is taking sticks, long blades of grass, and fishing inside of things for other things. This is what Jane Goodall first observed when she was researching chimps.
All right, wow. That was cool. Bye, everybody. See you next time. Before we reveal the big thing that we came here for, can you tell us a little bit about how this all started? Like, what is Project Chimps?
It was made illegal to research biomedically on chimps in 2015. So all of these chimps that are living in labs need somewhere to go afterwards. So 2015, we bought this property, formerly a gorilla sanctuary, but we did a bunch of renovations, millions of dollars worth of renovations to make it chimp accessible. So climbing structures, swinging structures.
What is Project Chimps' mission with each individual?
Our goal is to provide exemplary care to them until the end of their lives. So live out their lives here in as natural of a environment as we can replicate in captivity.
Including, I heard, entertainment?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you have this beautiful backdrop. I mean, it looks like a resort. And I heard there's also amenities. Can you tell us about what's going on?
So something that's really important to us is enrichment and providing that enrichment for chimps. In the wild, they would be walking 50 miles a day. They would be foraging for all of their own food, but here they get more of a room service situation. So we clean up after them, we give them all of their meals, but we also provide extra things, enrichment things to fulfill their lives more. So give them a food-based enrichment twice a day. And then we also have themed enrichment every day. Or we'll do movies on Tech Day. So we have flat screen TVs in each of the buildings. And so we'll put on documentaries.
And I heard there's even like concerts?
So yeah, we do have concerts for chimps. So we have musicians come in from all over, local people. People will come in just to perform for them.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all that background, India. And now I'm really interested to go learn a little bit more by observing some more chimp behavior. And I think time for stop 2. Let's go. All right, guys, because we're gonna be making contact with the food that the chimpanzees are going to touch and ultimately eat, we have to make sure we protect them by wearing gloves and a mask. How do we feed a chimpanzee lunch at Project Chimps?
Yeah, so we got this slingshot rigged up, but it's super cool because we get to put the food inside of it, and we just pull it back, let it go, and it encourages natural foraging behaviors.
Look at that.
That's Noelle with her
Noelle
stick.
is hungry. All right, Noelle, I got this for you. Celery, you ready? It's lunchtime. Oh, too far.
Oh, Babs will go get it. She said, I'll get closer.
She's climbing up there.
She's a goofball.
There you go. Noelle, you're climbing the tree and they're gonna get this. The chimps have moved here to this platform. Apparently, there's a bit of like an ongoing challenge. If you can hit the platform with the lunch, serve it up right, 6 points. I don't know if there's any other point system, but it's 6 points and I want them. Let's go. Something's gonna stick. No!
2 green beans.
2 green beans. I mean,
That was a good one.
That's a lot of points. Yes. Noelle, this is for you. I see you looking. I like it. Perfect. Right in between. And there you have it. That is how you feed lunch here at Project Chimps, or one of the ways. See? Applause. While slingshotting lunch was fun, it's now time to go check out how Project Chimps is expanding and trying to create a much better life for the chimpanzees that call this place home. All right, well, India, the weather's changed a little bit on us.
Yep.
No big deal. It's all part of the adventure, guys, but this is what we wanted to show you. Let me flip around the camera and unveil the brand new annex here at Project Chimps. Are you kidding me?
It's
This
very exciting.
is like state of the art. Guys, this is not Jurassic Park. This is Project Chimps. This is not only the first day that people get to see it, but also the chimpanzees. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes this annex so special here?
The most special thing about this annex is that it has walls that you can see through. So there's a 360 view for the chimps inside of the annex as well as for the humans outside of the annex.
All right, so this is the Sky Bridge.
It is.
Oh man, this is so cool. Okay, so I take it chimpanzees in the villa. Access through the Sky Bridge.
Yep.
And then what is this?
This
There's
up
another
here,
thing here.
This is called the portal. So this is their portal from the Sky Bridge into the annex.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, so these are the operations for the doors. So this is what humans move to open and close the doors. They're locked, of course, very safe. And then in here, this is gonna be a chimp space. So these doors will all be closed and the chimps will have access to this room, the portal room, and then be able to go through this door out into the annex.
So this is like a barrier fence, it looks like.
It is.
I was told 2 acres of open space.
Yep. And then this is called the corridor. So it's our safety spot in case the chimp was to get out. We have this extra layer of protection for them. And then we
Okay.
have a door that they can come back in.
Very cool. I just want to show you real quick. Look at that. Green, both sides. It feels so nice standing in here as a human being, and you can only imagine how it's going to be for these chimpanzees. Now here's how it's going to go down real quick. Team's up there prepping the chimpanzees to be released into the annex. We've got a grand opening ceremony with lots of folks down here at the bottom. As soon as the ribbon is cut, we're gonna make our way back up the hill to try to see the chimpanzees crossing into the Sky Bridge. I wanna see those expressions. I wanna see their reaction to being in this awesome place. We're being called down. Here we go. It's game time.
So this will be the first time for most of these chimps where they can go outside and actually see the expanse of nature. We're giving them a world without walls. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They're already inside. Still trying to get all the chimps into the annex, but a lot of them flew right through, guys. They just already knew what to do. No instructions required. Boom, right through the Sky Bridge into the annex. This new area, checking it out, already playing on the barrel swings and the ropes. Look, oh, hey buddy. They love it. They absolutely love it. Pretty emotional, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of people down there. There's a few tears, a lot of smiles, a lot of handshakes, a lot of work has gone into this, and you could tell just how happy everybody is to see this day. I am blown away by that. Congratulations on
Thank
opening
you.
the annex.
Thank you.
To you and your team and all the hard work for well over a year that's gone into this. I could see how much the chimps appreciated it and all the people that were here. And guys, if this video moved you, there are ways to get involved and to help out this project. Number 1, we have a donate button. You'll see here just right of the video. Every penny, every dollar counts. It goes right to Project Chimps. But India, what are some other ways people can get involved?
Donations are super important. Any little bit means the world to us. We love it. We also have the opportunity for you to come visit us. So you can come out, visit, take a tour. You can also do a lunch launch if you want.
Oh, so people can do their own lunch launch.
They can do their own lunch launch. And then also if you want to get your hands dirty and be more involved, you can come and volunteer with us as well.
I encourage you to check out the link in the description. Get more involved with Project Chimps. India, one more high five for the road. Thanks again. I hope everyone enjoyed this one, and we'll see you all on the next adventure. What's going on, guys? I'm back in Australia, home of the most deadly and venomous creatures on the planet, to test the sting of an animal that is said to cause the most pain out of any creature that lives in Australia, which is pretty crazy. But to help me do it, I'm joined today by my good friend, Miller Wilson. What's up, dude?
Good to have you back, Mark.
I am excited to be here, Miller, but I gotta say, I'm a little nervous about this video. Why don't you tell everybody at home what creature we're trying to catch today?
So today we're going to be trying to track down Australia's most venomous freshwater fish, the bull rat, also known as the freshwater stonefish.
Which is a pretty aggressive title for an animal because I have been stung by the saltwater stonefish, and it's something I would honestly never attempt again. So when you told me about the bull rat, of course I was curious.
I know 3 people who have been stung by this fish, and all 3 of those people were hospitalized.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. All right, well, we're gonna try our best to catch one of these guys, so Miller and I are gonna hit the trail and see if we can find ourselves a freshwater stonefish. Anything to look out for over here, Miller?
Lots of venomous snakes around this area. Some of
Okay.
the world's most venomous snakes actually live in this forest, so
Really?
gotta be careful.
Aren't there leeches out here?
Leeches, plenty of leeches as well, no shortage of them.
Yeah, probably gonna get a couple leeches today.
Healthy.
Oh, God.
Oh, here's a big leech right here. Oh, here's a couple.
Oh, tiger leeches.
Oh, there's another one. They're everywhere.
They're like going up your legs.
Yeah. But look, they're literally everywhere, all over the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, wow, there's one right in my boot. That got me.
Leech alley, look, there's another one on my foot right there.
Gosh, this place is full of stuff that wants to bite you and sting you. All right, here we go.
All right, let's go.
I want to know a little bit more about these hospitalizations. Tell me about one of the stories, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so it was actually my granddad,
No way.
and he was a police officer, and they got a call up saying that there was an illegal fishing net in a freshwater river. So he went out there to remove it, and as he was pulling in the net, he put his hand on a bull rat, a freshwater stonefish, and got multiple spines in his hand.
He grabbed it?
He grabbed it, yeah.
Oh.
Very bad.
He ended up going to the hospital?
He went to the hospital, they gave him some medication. Yeah, his hand swelled up like a balloon, and for the next couple days, it was still painful. So, something that you have to be very careful of.
All right. Well, we are going to attempt to navigate this creek and hopefully get a freshwater stonefish into the net. So where are the stonefish living?
We're gonna have to be very careful because even in all of these little pools right here, I've found big stonefish in before, because when it floods down at this creek system, it washes them from the deeper pools that they usually live in into all these shallow sections.
You could see how easy it would be for something to just live right underneath that. You step there and then you're in a world of pain.
World of pain, that's it. Up here is where I've actually found one of these bull rat before, so we'll go check it out.
So Miller, are they very fast or are they pretty stoic?
So the reason why so many people get stung is because they won't move out of your way.
Okay.
They know how venomous they are, and they'll sit there with their spikes up. Even if you walk over to the side of them, they will angle their spikes towards you.
So that's almost like, reminds me of a lionfish. They're aware of where their spines are and they'll pivot right to you. So, if you step near one, you're stepping on it.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt we would have walked past a few of these fish already, and they're just so camouflaged, very hard to see. Got one, right here.
Really?
Big freshwater stonefish. That's actually massive.
Where is it?
Look, sitting next to the...
Oh, yeah. Wow, good eye, dude.
That's a big bull rat.
It looks just like a leaf. You guys got a shot of that? Look at that. And it's not gonna spook, right? Like we got a moment?
No, so they
right.
use that as a defense mechanism. Like if we were to go and stand on top of that fish right there, it's not moving.
Whoa. How are we gonna catch it, Miller? Do you wanna snag it with the net or?
I think if you use that clear container,
Okay.
put it in front of the fish, I'll come around the back and tap it on the tail. It might go in.
Okay, let's try.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Just gently push it. There we go. All right, shut the lid.
Got it.
Got it.
Let me fill it all the way with water. This is dangerous.
Yeah.
All right.
That
Look.
is a monster.
Look at that. Oh my
Good
gosh.
job,
Oh, it barely fits.
Mark. That is a monster. That is the biggest freshwater stonefish I've ever seen in this creek. Good job. We
Wow,
got
no,
one.
good job to you for spotting it. Look at how perfectly camouflaged this fish is to this environment. And I noticed that it spazzed a little bit when we caught it. So this isn't an animal that we're gonna be able to hold easily.
No, they're a lot more difficult to handle than the saltwater stonefish.
Okay, well, now it's time for the moment that I've been dreading all day long. It's time to set up the sting table. All right, Miller, are we all set?
It's all you, mate.
All right, here we go, guys. Well, there it is. You are looking at the bull route, the freshwater stonefish, and one of the most unusual stinging fish I have ever seen. Wow, man. I'll tell you what, Miller, it's always exciting going on adventures with you, man, but I am definitely feeling the nerves right now. This is uncharted territory.
I don't think anyone's ever been stung by both a freshwater and saltwater stonefish before. So to compare the pain from both stings will be something that no one's ever done 100%.
The saltwater stonefish was by far and away one of the worst stings I have ever experienced. When it's all said and done, this should be just extraordinarily painful for me and hopefully educational for you. Ah! God. Immediate fire spreading up my fingers. I can already feel it in these three. Hang on, I gotta walk it off. I had lasting symptoms. We're talking these 3 fingers right here were completely numb for 3 months. Yes, 3 months of complete numbness in these fingers from the saltwater stonefish. So in terms of what this fish would have to do to ascend beyond that pain, it's a lot, guys. All right, before we get into this sting experiment, let's take a closer look at this very unusual and very seldomly seen fish. The first thing that I want to point out that I've already noticed is since we pulled it out of the stream, it has now completely changed its appearance. Once we sat it on this light metal table, it is also now much lighter in coloration. And I believe if you zoom in close enough, you'll be able to see why. There's these tiny black dots all around its scales and its face. And I think those are like chromatophores, just like you'd see on a squid or an octopus, where it can expand and contract those cells to completely change its color. So the camouflage is great for avoiding predators, but if you can't avoid a predator, what does this fish use? It's super toxic venom. And it delivers that dose of venom through its venomous barbs, the spines up and down the dorsal fin. There are spines here at the tail, and there are spines underneath the belly of the fish on the pelvic fins. So there's really no good way to hold this fish for today's sting experiment. And that's why, until I'm ready to take the sting, once we get it out of the container, I will be wearing gloves. Now, just like all the other bite sting experiments, we are going to put this fish on the bite sting index on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. One last thing, for a remedy, your best first aid scenario in any fish sting, hot water and a compress. So with all that being said, it is time to enter the sting zone with the freshwater stonefish. You ready, Miller?
Ready to go, mate.
Okay. All right, so the fish can be out of water for upwards of 10 minutes. It won't be that long, but just so everybody knows, this fish can breathe air while being out of water. All right, look at how it raises its fins in defense. I just want to point that out. As soon as I go in for the grab, ching, like a bed of spikes, raises them up for defense. Okay, got a grip. Okay, fish is out. Miller, why don't you come in here? I'm gonna remove this glove. I just want you to basically hold the fish in place.
Yeah.
All right. I'm so shaken right now. And I'm about to enter the sting zone with the bull route, freshwater stonefish from Australia, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Oh, we got it. Shit. Yep, definitely in. Get it, good. Yep, okay. Miller, put it back in the water, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that burns. Ow, it is burning, building. Yeah. Clearly see where the spine went in. It went in pretty much up to the, I can't talk right now, hang on. Miller, it hurts. Yeah, definitely burns. Like all through those fingers. Definitely some neurotoxin going on in there. It's not just, it's not like the other ones. It's way different than the saltwater stonefish. Way different.
And those spines way sharper than the stonefish.
It took almost no pressure.
And that went all the way in as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
That's a good sting.
Yeah. Those spines are needle sharp. If you put all of your weight, it would go all the way in. Like, I could have easily gotten that spine an inch into my hand with more pressure. Like, it was just going. And I'm here to tell you, if you were to step on one of these fish, if you were to take a whole handful of spines, you're definitely going to the hospital. Like, this is excruciating. Just a single barb. Wow.
Do you need any hot water?
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to endure it a little bit. I just wanna see if it spreads beyond my hand before I put it out. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait to see how bad this gets, the aftermath. Miller, thank you, brother.
Good job, mate.
Now we've gotta wait for the next 24 to 48 hours to see just how bad this sting gets. Don't forget, if you're ever stung yourself, hot water, compress, and if that doesn't work, hospital. But right now, we are going to roll the official Brave Wilderness Sting Index rating of the bull route, the freshwater stonefish from Australia. Roll it. On intimidation, I was definitely nervous. The saltwater stonefish caused lasting nerve damage in my hand for over 3 months, so I had an idea what I was in for. And once I saw those long venom-laced spines stand up, it sent chills all over my body. Even though the bull route may be a smaller fish, the unknowns of its venom score it big-time points. Plus, hearing Miller's account of his granddad going to the hospital from a sting, yeah, I have to award this fish a whopping 9.2 out of 10. For pain, just like the saltwater stonefish, the sting sparked an instant inferno that intensified with each passing minute. And even though the small puncture wound may not have bled out very much, the venom surely found its way deep into my hand, and it hurt bad, giving this fish an 8.7 out of 10 on the pain index. For the aftermath, there really wasn't one. It was nowhere near the saltwater stonefish in long-term effects, and after applying the hot compress, the burning sensation subsided entirely, much like my reaction from the scorpion fish in Florida. Now, my hand was a bit sore for the rest of the day, but that was about the full extent of the aftermath. All this being said, I can only award this river-dwelling fish a 4.7 out of 10 in this category, giving the final tally of the bull route, the freshwater stonefish from Australia, a 7.5 out of 10, falling just below the assassin bug of Borneo on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Look at that! Woo! Archie, that was sick! Let me introduce you to Archie O'Brien. He is an inventor and he is changing the way that people explore underwater. Archie, I have so many questions, but the first two are, how fast can I learn how to do that? And when can I get in the water?
Well, Mark, the good news is you're going to learn pretty fast. But first, let's show you your jetpack.
All right. Wow! Oh my goodness, Archie, what am I looking at right here?
This here is the world's first underwater jetpack.
I am so excited to get in the water and do what we just saw you doing, but tell us how this happened. You invented this.
That's right. So about 7 years ago, I was free diving in Koh Tao in Thailand, and I like speed, so I thought this would be a lot cooler if I could do it really fast. So once I got back to England, I sketched out some ideas and was looking to see if I can fit this much power into a unit that fits on your back.
Explain to us exactly how this operates.
Since we're on the table, I'm going to lay this one down. As that comes up, that's off, as simple as that. And then the harness, that provides a lot of buoyancy to the user. So this will keep you balanced in the water when you're resting in between dives. The mounts here, top and bottom, is where the jetpack clip into. And that allows you, when you move your body, even the slightest movements, that you'll change direction. So the movement through the water is super intuitive. The power is all in here.
Let's take a look at the power unit. This is, guys, check this out. Look, it has jets.
2 jets.
2 jets.
The water comes in here and then it gets fired out the back, and that's what allows you to move through the water. It's a flying feeling. Your brain very quickly forgets that you have this, and you just feel like a superhuman.
And I'm assuming this is how we operate the jet.
Yeah, this is the controller. It's super simple, so once you're in, all you do is squeeze. That works in the same way if you ever played Scalextrics, the little cars that go around the track.
Sure.
It's a very, very similar concept to that, so it's super intuitive, and it's something you forget about really, really quick once you're actually in.
Okay, now that we know the basics of the underwater jetpack, it's time to get it in the water. All right, guys, the time has come and we have made it to my training ground. Now, what you see behind me is a protected cove and it has a white sand bottom, so it is the perfect environment for me to try out these underwater jetpacks. Now, Archie and the guys are bringing down the equipment right now. We're gonna put our harnesses on, put the packs on, and get out into the water to see if I can actually do this. Now you'll notice we're not using any air tanks. These underwater jetpacks are for free diving only, which allows you to move at higher speeds and is much more maneuverable than a scuba dive. Here we go. All right, guys, let's go flying underwater. Archie gets under the water using a technique called duck diving. This move is the foundation for all possibilities while using the underwater jetpack. But before I can maneuver like Archie, I have to get the hang of using the throttle. Whoa. Wow. First trial run on an underwater jetpack surface test. Went the wrong way.
You've got the hang of the throttle control now, so okay, really the next thing we got to do is just get you in and under.
After only a few minutes in the water, Archie was already showing me how to do the duck dive.
What we want to do is get our arms out a little bit. We want to lean forward and then head down, bum up, squeeze the throttle. Now, if you feel like you're going too deep, too quickly, let go of the throttle a bit and pull up.
Okay, got it. It took a few tries to get the hang of it. Okay, I try that again. But when I finally did, it felt like I was instantly flying underwater. That was awesome. Whoa, it is like so much different than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Wow, like cruising.
Yeah, absolutely.
I felt like a torpedo.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, should we go back?
Yeah.
All right. My first impression at the surface was just how powerful the jetpack was. It moved my body around with ease, and it was obvious that it could go much faster. That was unbelievable! It's hard to put into words what I just experienced, but I'm going to try. It is a rush. You get underwater and you immediately feel like you're a rocket. It's like being a fighter jet. I've never experienced speed like this underwater. To say I was flying underwater is exactly how it feels. You're like Superman. This is definitely the closest I've ever been to feeling like a real life superhero, and I can only imagine the adventures these jetpacks are gonna take me on moving forward. And with that, we're gonna go back and charge up our batteries so we can head out into the water again, but this time we're raising the stakes so we can see what these jetpacks can really do. All right, here we go, guys. Dive site number 2. It's time to take it up a notch. Let's see if I can get the jetpack out there and do some awesome maneuvers. Here we go. On this dive, we'll be exploring a rockier environment filled with a maze of seagrass. The goal is to navigate this deeper water where Archie can show me some advanced moves. But first we have to get there. Perhaps one of the hardest urges to fight when I was first going down with the jetpack was to maneuver my arms and legs. Instinctively, you want to kick and you want to use your hands to move around. But with the jetpack's power, you don't need to move your hands or feet at all. You just need to hold your breath and move your core around and point the jetpack in the right direction. It does the rest. As I got more confident, it became easier to hold my breath, allowing me to stay down longer and travel much further on a single gulp of air. I was also starting to feel like I had complete control of where I was flying, so I started trying some advanced maneuvers, knowing that the floating vest would bring me right to the surface if any of the moves didn't work out. I tried to learn like the bank feel, where it's like trying to force it to go one way doesn't work, and like just subtly like angling your body, you just go that direction. Unlike the sandy bottom of the training ground, the contour of all the seagrass and the rocks made a fun obstacle course to maneuver around. My goal was to try to get to some of the maneuvers that I was seeing Archie do. But after a few more pointers, I was finally able to pull off that instant flip underwater. I even got in my first barrel roll. That was awesome. Once I really got the hang of the maneuvers, Archie and I could fly right next to each other like two fighter jets moving through the sky, except of course we were about 20 feet under the water. Archie, man, that was unreal. I cannot believe how much fun I had out there with these underwater jetpacks. Thank you.
You're more than welcome, Mark. Great to see you today, learning in the shallows and now coming out into the seagrass. It was really something quite special.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us in Corsica. This has been one of my favorite adventures of all time. The Cuda Jet underwater jetpack completely exceeded all of my expectations, and I cannot wait to get back out there to see what else I can do with this amazing technology. We're swimming with dolphins.
I'm Mark Vins. Welcome back to Blue Wilderness. To say we've had some close encounters on this show would definitely be an understatement. I mean, who can forget the time I laid beside a lemon shark at the bottom of the ocean on our very first night dive? Or the time we were swarmed by porcupine fish, and I even got to pet one. Or swimming with those big, beautiful tiger sharks at Tiger Beach. Yep, it's no secret that getting up close and personal is one of our specialties. But there's a big difference between witnessing an animal in the wild and actually communicating with one. The Atlantic spotted dolphin is one of the most social, playful, and intelligent animals in all of the sea. And something almost miraculous happened when we ran into a pod of these incredible creatures off the coast of Bimini. And honestly, I never would have believed it myself if I didn't see it with my own two eyes. Bimini is an island chain that comprises the westernmost portion of the Bahamas. And believe it or not, it's only about 50 miles due east of Miami, Florida. But in many ways, feels like a completely different universe. It's said that Bimini was even referenced by Ponce de Leon in his search for the Fountain of Youth. And it's pretty easy to see why. The blue waters here are alive and absolutely breathtaking. On this adventure, we teamed up yet again with Jonathan Bird and his Blue World crew for the search of these Atlantic spotted dolphins. But finding them isn't always easy, and you have to know where to look. And fortunately for us, the crew of our ship, the Dolphin Dream, has been doing this for many years, and are world-renowned experts at locating the Atlantic spotted dolphins. They know just where to look and can even identify individual dolphins from these world-famous pods. So believe it or not, we don't really find the dolphins, they find us. These dolphins have been playing with the Dolphin Dream for over 40 years. This is a very special population of Atlantic spotted dolphin that do this. You definitely don't want to jump in the water with just any pod of dolphins. It can be potentially dangerous, and they might not be that friendly. So you definitely don't want to do this by yourself, and you want to make sure you're with a professional team if you're ever going to swim with wild dolphins. As it turns out, these mammals love boats, and more specifically, they love surfing the wake from the boats, like the Dolphin Dream. So Mario, Jonathan, and I posted up at the bow of the boat and scanned the blue horizon, and after a couple of hours, we spotted them. Or more accurately, they spotted us. Look at them there, right next to the bow. It was time to jump in. We're leaving the scuba gear on deck for this adventure because we want to stay as light and as agile as possible. These dolphins are incredibly fast. So the only things we'll be bringing into the water with us are our snorkel gear, some GoPros, and a bandana. Yeah, you heard that right, a bright red bandana. So these Atlantic spotted dolphins that we're going to be trying to play with love colorful things. So these bandanas are sort of an offering or a toy that we're going to bring out there into the water with us. And the hope is that it'll keep the dolphins entertained so we get some really cool shots in the process. You see, the thing is, these dolphins love to play. And it turns out they are experts at a version of underwater capture the flag. But it doesn't always work out that well. Let's face it, humans are kinda slow and, well, boring if you're a dolphin. But we tried to get them interested to play the game anyway. And after some free dives and a little bit of taunting with that bandana, it almost worked. And I began to see the personalities of these dolphins start to come out. In fact, it became clear pretty fast that the Atlantic spotted dolphins are incredible animals. They have streamlined bodies, perfect for speed and acrobatics. They are known to leap playfully out of the water alongside boats, and they swim in pods anywhere from 5 individuals all the way up to 100. In other words, these are social animals. Although I wouldn't fully understand just how social they were until later. The difference between the adults and the calves was easy to spot. Juveniles are born both smooth and gray and only develop their spots over time. And it is estimated that these dolphins can live between 30 and 40 years of age. And They can stay underwater for, get this, up to 10 minutes at a time. Whoa. Considering all of that, this was a lot for us humans to keep up with. And as much as we tried, we couldn't get this pod to take the hint. So, we brought out the sea scooter to sweeten the deal. The sea scooter allowed us to zip around at depth, spin with the dolphins, and play with them at their speed. But unfortunately, this pod just wasn't into it, and off they went.
Well, we just had about 25 spotted dolphin swimming all around us. Unfortunately, they didn't hang out very long, so we're gonna get back on the boat so we can go find another group for round 2.
It's true that many people have been deeply moved by their encounters with these animals. And once we were back aboard the Dolphin Dream, I was afraid that we would not get to have this experience for ourselves. And as the day dragged on, our hopes grew more and more dim. But then, just as the sun started to dip low in the sky, we spotted another pod.
Here we go, dolphin time, let's do it.
This time, it was a much larger group of dolphins, and it was instantly obvious that they were excited and ready for some fun. Their distinct vocalizations and powerful swimming yet again reminded us that we were in their world. But their nudges and playfulness made us feel welcome and right at home. The game started with the dramatic freedive of the sea scooter. The dolphins gave chase, and what followed seemed to be almost choreographed. They mimicked our swimming, sometimes chasing us, and sometimes allowing us to try to chase them. But they always stayed just a fin ahead. And that bandana, I decided to give that one more chance. So I dove down as far as I could and let it go. And to my surprise, they took it. Instantly, my mind raced with excitement. Let the games begin. As soon as they had the bandana in their possession, they raced around like a well-practiced sports team, passing it back and forth to each other from their tail fins all the way to their pectoral fins, playing a nearly flawless game of keep away. And as we all chased around my bandana, which was hilariously always just out of reach, I realized we weren't just goofing around with these animals, we were communicating with them. We were communicating in sport. Because in this moment, we were playing a well-organized and coordinated game. And it was a game with rules. And the main rule was, keep the bandana away from the slowpokes, all while being good-natured and fun. Have you ever seen a dolphin smile so big? Look at that. I just can't grab it. What's most amazing about this is that this is the kind of thing that you do with friends, not with wild marine mammals. But under that mysterious deep blue surface, in a region once thought to contain the mythical fountain of youth, the spark of intelligence and friendship was clear to everyone present. I had never experienced anything like this in my entire life. It was like I was playing one of my favorite childhood games with some friends down the block. But they weren't just friends down the block. These were wild marine animals. And the connection we made through sport was proof of their incredible intelligence. And the game played on. In fact, it went on for a while, and we chased around that bandana as hard as we could. And when we began to slow and show signs of fatigue, the dolphins initiated contact with us. Almost like saying, "Good job, human. You're holding your own down here, and we appreciate your effort. Now let's keep playing." But ultimately, this wasn't our playground. This was the ocean. This was their playground. And as hard as we tried, we just couldn't keep up. And eventually, we became flat out exhausted. And then, as the sun set, our new friends said their goodbyes and swam back into the abyss. And would you believe it? They were even nice enough to give back my bandana. I'll take that, thank you very much.
That was so cool. I never thought swimming with dolphins would be so amazing, but today was quite possibly the coolest thing we've ever done.
That was awesome.
Dude, nice job.
There it is. I successfully got my bandana back, but wow, what an epic day. Swimming with dolphins off the coast of Bimini has to be one of the coolest things we've ever done, and certainly something I'll never forget. I'm Mark Binns. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next dive. We'd like to extend an extra special thank you to Jonathan Bird, the Blue World Dive Team, and the crew of the Dolphin Dream. They truly made this expedition the memory of a lifetime. If you love aquatic creatures, make sure to check out the Blue Wilderness channel on YouTube so you can join me and the crew on our next dive.